In episode 147 of the UK Travel Planning Podcast, join me as I chat with Charley Sullivan from Walks and Devour Tours to get the inside scoop on their amazing small group experiences in London and Edinburgh. From delicious food tours to expertly guided walks, Charley shares exciting new offerings in both cities that are perfect for travellers who want to go beyond the guidebook.
Welcome to the UK Travel Planning Podcast. Your host is the founder of the UK Travel Planning website, Tracy Collins. In this podcast, Tracy shares destination guides, travel tips, and itinerary ideas, as well as interviews with a variety of guests who share their knowledge and experience of UK travel to help you plan your perfect UK vacation. Join us as we explore the UK from cosmopolitan cities to quaint villages, from historic castles to beautiful islands, and from the picturesque countryside to seaside towns.
Hi everybody and welcome to episode 147 of the UK Travel Planner Podcast. Now this week I'm really excited to have a repeat guest on the show. Now Charley was a guest on episode 84 and episode 91, just had to check there. And she was at that point Charley Bennett. She's now Charley Sullivan. So if you have listened to those episodes and you're thinking, I know that voice, yes it is the wonderful Charley Bennett from Walks Tours and Devour Tours. Now, Charley Sullivan now is here to talk to us all about updates in London and some exciting developments with Walks Tours in another wonderful UK destination. So I had to get Charley on to spill the beans about what's been happening at Walks and also at Devour in London and in this new destination. So welcome, Charley. Welcome back to the podcast.
Tracy, it's a pleasure to be back. I'm thrilled to be able to chat again about London and our new region, which I'll tell you more about in a little bit.
So would you like to start off with, just because if people haven't yet listened to those other two episodes, so I will say do go back and listen to them because they are incredibly popular. But if you haven't, Charley, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about what your role is?
Sure. So my name is Charley Sullivan, née Bennett. She got married a few years ago, but we took a while to change my name in the system. So I am the product and operations manager for Walks and Devour Tours in London. And I've been with the company since July 2022. So I was overseeing sort of all the guide management and operations for a few years. And then I've now got my lovely support team in London of a new ground operations manager called Scott. So he's now my colleague in London here. So I look after a lot of the product and operations to do with all our tours in London. And I think the nicest thing about Take Walks and Devour is they really offer just more than just sightseeing. We try and create an immersive, story-driven experience for our guests. And we try and connect them to the heart and soul of a destination rather than just a walking tour. So with Walks, we curate small group walking tours. And they're all led by very passionate, very knowledgeable local guides, who some of which are historians, some teachers, lecturers, and we try and provide exclusive access to iconic landmarks in each destination. So whether that be VIP entry or skip the line access, and we try and take the tourist beyond what they would normally see. So we try and make them experience more than just waiting, which is what you tend to do as a normal tourist, waiting in lines all the time. Devour Tours, on the other hand, it's all about discovering the city through its food and its culture and local stories. So we have a very strong focus on supporting family-run local businesses, traditional producers, especially in a lot of the markets that we visit. And we try and offer not just delicious tastings, but a very deeper understanding into local life and the culinary heritage of the people that make this all happen. So we say that you won't only leave full, but you'll be more connected to the places that you visited. So altogether, we just try and incorporate small groups, intimate groups, exceptional storytelling, unique access, and a deep respect for local cultures.
And you do it so well. I have to say, Charlie, Doug and I have been enjoying Devour food tours in Spain recently. So that'll be in Madrid, in Seville, and recently in Barcelona, and have had an absolute ball. We've loved it, and we've done some walks tours as well, which we've absolutely loved. And to swing back to London, my favourite food tour of all time is the Taste, Tales and Traditional Ales tour that I did a couple of years ago, and I still rave about it. And my friend Terry, who came on the tour with me, she tells all her friends about it because I loved it. And I have done food tours in Paris, and obviously now recently in Barcelona and Madrid, Seville. Fantastic food tours, but I still love the Tastes, Tales and Traditional Ales food tour because it is just amazing. And of course, on top of the food tours as well, which Doug and I absolutely love, and I would recommend if you are listening to this podcast and you're thinking English food, yuck. Seriously, no, it's not all about the food. And also, we do have some good food. I'm going to say that. You will also learn the history. You'll go and learn the history of Borough Market. You'll go and learn about the history of the pubs that you are visiting, as well as about the food. So there's so much to it. And walks tours, of course, anybody, if you're listening to this podcast, you know how much I love the Ceremony of the Keys. I've been lucky enough to do that a couple of times. I recently did the London in a Day tour with you guys. I've done Westminster Abbey. I have loved every single tour. The tour guides are the best. Honestly, they are just so amazing and tell wonderful stories, which is what you want. So I absolutely back up 100% because I love your tours. And if Doug was sitting here, I'd say exactly the same. So I want to know, because I'm going to be back in London later on in the year as well. Very exciting to be back. And I'm sure all the listeners who are planning to go to London this year, what is new this year? Give us an overview of what you've got going on in London.
Well, as you were talking about the food tours being and the pubs being one of your favourites, we actually have a brand new food tour hitting London this year.
Excited.
And it's really, really capturing the heart and soul of Caribbean, African and Latin American flavours. So we're heading to a little area in the south of London called Brixton. And Brixton it's very popular. But it's very popular with the Windrush generation. So if you don't know about the Windrush generation, it refers to the people who migrated to the UK from the Caribbean between, I think it was 1948 and 1973. And they were named after the ship, the HMT Empire Windrush. Now, there was a big scandal in 2018 where it was seen that many were wrongly detained, denied rights and threatened with deportation, despite being British citizens. And unfortunately, there were some that were deported. So this area is very rich in cultural history as well as iconic food from these particular areas. Now, the tour itself is around 3.5 hours. Starts about 11 a.m. in the morning. And we really try and take you to see the vibrant and delicious varieties of flavours from all across these regions, from West Africa to Gambia to Nigeria to Latin America. And not only that, but I really think that this tour encapsulates Devour tours as a whole, because we really mix local perspectives with heartwarming stories from the local vendors. So it really is a tour that you must take to learn more about this culture, the Brixton culture and the legendary food and culture scene. So on the tour, we actually go, this is one of my favourite parts of this tour, is the very first stop, and we go and visit Maureen, and we actually go into her house. We go in through her back gate in the middle of Brixton, and she is there cooking on a barbecue her famous jerk chicken. So to start off, you'll be trying jerk chicken with some amazing coleslaw. And jerk chicken is so flavorful. It's marinated in really deep, smoky spices. So you will get the true taste of Jamaica in one bite. She's all over Instagram. So if you haven't already, check her out on Instagram, Maureen Brixton. And honestly, the food is to die for. I can't stop going back. It's just the best. We then head to Jamaica. So we head to a lovely little farm shop, which is hidden in the market. And we try some traditional Jamaican rum cake. So it's never too early for alcohol, even if it is in a cake. And the guide will really tell you an inspiring story of this shop and its founder, who was a child of the Windrush generation, who turned a childhood love for farming into a beloved community shop. So you'll really understand how this community has been brought together through the generations of Windrush and a community. We then head to try some cod fritters with Brian at Fish Wings and Tings. And this is very much a Trinidadian heritage that we will be sampling. And he shaped his whole idea on his grandma's kitchen. And he shaped his life's mission to bring people together through food. So every single stop we're going to has such an amazing back history and story behind it. We then try West African cuisine of jollof rice and akra, which are sort of crispy, fluffy bean fritters. We then try Brazilian sweet called brigadeiro. They're like chocolate bonbons of heaven. Honestly, you take one bite and you just want to keep devouring them. They're amazing. And then our last stop, which is another one of my favourites, is with William. And he will just talk your ear off about his whole life in Gambia. And we will try sort of very different style tapas with empanadas and plantains and sangria, because of course you cannot end a tour without a nice glass of sangria. And all this is just in this one community, in this hub of Brixton. I'm super excited about this tour. All the guides are locals. They know people. So you'll sort of be walking around and they'll be saying hello to everyone as you walk past. And it really is, you'll walk down the famous Electric Avenue, see murals of likes of David Bowie that really celebrate the neighbourhood's culture and history, as well as learning about the foods and the people as you go.
Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. I have to tell you, Charley, it sounds amazing. And I think that's what's so special about Devour Tours as well. It's like you meet the locals, you're supporting the local community, you're supporting the local producers, you're sharing the stories, the history of that community. And how else are you going to ever be able to experience anything like that? It's fantastic. So can you put my name down for that tour, please, later on in the year?
100%.
I'm definitely want to go on that. And we will share a link in the show notes. So if you want to go ahead and book that tour, you can go on there and get yourself booked onto that tour. Is that every day that one's offered, Charley?
It's running Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays at the moment. And then as we see it improving and the sales coming in and people booking, then we will look to increase that as well.
Brilliant. Oh, it sounds so exciting. And you still got your other two food tours. So I've been on the other two food tours. Obviously, I've talked about the tastes, tales and traditional ales, which I absolutely love. And also the Borough Market tour as well, which Doug and I have done as well, which we really loved. And I think the appreciation of the Borough Market tour as well, I do say to people, because people they all want to go to Borough Market because they've seen it on Instagram or TikTok. The strawberries particularly comes up all the time. I'm going to learn about the history about Borough Market because it's fascinating. There's so much about that area. So you're not just going to a market. You're going to learn about who's selling the food there, where the food comes from, but also the history of that area is absolutely fantastic as well. So you come away with not just the information about the food, you meet the locals, you learn so much more than you would just by having a little stroll around Borough Market, or even in fact just going to one of those old pubs. You just learn about the history and the culture of where you are. So it can't be beaten, really.
And talking of Borough Market, it has actually been redeveloped slightly for this year.
Oh,
so we still visit Borough Market. We still have some wonderful, wonderful tastings in Borough Market. And we then actually head over London Bridge and we head into the City of London, and we go to another famous market called Leadenhall Market, which is very famous for inspirations like Harry Potter. It's a beautiful Victorian market, and we try a fabulous French delicacy. I won't give too much away, but it's a beautiful little gâteau. And then we actually go in a hidden little gem just round the back streets, and we go to a private wine and cheese tasting now.
I feel like
So it's all brand new. So you have to come and try that one
I'm
again.
just gonna feel like I've missed out now. I'm like, I'm glad I'm coming back to London because I'm gonna have to be able to do. I'm gonna have to do that one. Absolutely gonna have to do that one. Is the taste, tales, and traditional ales the same as it was when I did that? As that?
That is exactly the same. Yes,
Perfect.
it is the same. But we are running on weekends now as well, which is really nice to see this year.
That was perfection, and I'm going to shout out to Sophie. Is Sophie still doing the tours? Because I loved Sophie; she was amazing.
She is, yes, she is. She's still here with us.
Fantastic. And also Pete, who took the Borough Market tours as well. If Pete's still around, hello to Pete as well.
He is indeed.
Fantastic. And okay, so let's turn away from food, even though I could probably talk about food all day. Let's turn away from food and talk about developments in walks, tours actually in London before we kind of announce the new destination that I'm so excited to talk about.
So am I, don't worry. Perfect. So we have a brand new royal tour. So this one I'm super excited about as well. So this is our Kensington Palace guard change and afternoon tea tour. It's 5.5 hours, so it's a good half-day tour, but it really shows London's royal heritage and really encapsulates the history, the pageantry, and the elegance of our royal history. It includes pre-reserved tickets at Kensington Palace with an audio guide. So unfortunately, guiding isn't possible in the palace because the corridors are just too narrow. We have prime viewing spot for guard change. So the guides will always ensure that you get the prime spot to watch. We have a beautiful guided stroll through Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens. So stopping at some of the best known royal landmarks along the way. And then this is my pièce de résistance, which I think is just going to set this tour alive, is they actually enjoy a traditional afternoon tea at Kensington Palace's exquisite orangery.
Lovely.
So, they really get the scones, the sandwiches, the sweet treats in such a royal surrounding. It's absolutely stunning. So yes, this tour is going to really set apart the royal side of London, for sure. And Kensington Gardens, it's one of London's most beautiful royal parks, which I think is very, very much forgotten. You've got your St James's Park, your Hyde Park, your Regent's Park, all right close together, and then Kensington Gardens is just on the outskirts, but is very rarely visited by tourists. We'll be pausing at the Diana Fountain Memorial. This was a very serene and symbolic tribute to Princess Diana. It was designed to reflect her spirit and compassion, which I think we all know she was very much well known for. We head to the Albert Memorial, which is a humongous memorial to Prince Albert. And it was an ornate monument that was commissioned by Queen Victoria after his death. We see the Royal Albert Hall, which is obviously the world-renowned concert venue, which has got stunning Victorian architecture and rich musical history. We take in the Kensington Gardens itself, and then head to the Orangery for the afternoon tea. The palace itself, it's been a historical royal residence for over 300 years. So it started with the birthplace and childhood of home of Queen Victoria. And then most recently and most notably was the beloved home of Princess Diana and her sons William and Harry. So it really offers an elegant visit of the staterooms, the engaging exhibitions and the tranquil gardens that surround it. So it really echoes the personal stories and public lives of the royals who once lived here. So if you're really into the royal family, this is definitely a tour for you. We run Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sundays. So come and join us. It really is one that I'm super excited about.
Well, that sounds great, and I like the kind of how you've built that tour as well around the Kensington Gardens, going into Kensington Palace, and then having an afternoon tea as well is amazing. So yeah, if you're listening and you are a fan of the royal family, this should absolutely be a must. I mean, I love Kensington Palace, so I always recommend people to go. If you want to learn about Queen Victoria, where she was born, and see the toys that she played with as a child, that's where you need to go, and it's amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend. That sounds great. And any more new tours that you've got going this year?
Not at the moment. There is potentially one in the pipeline, which could be of interest in a month or so, which is still a work in progress. We have a few other redevelopments. So last year we had the Buckingham Palace staterooms and Royal Mews as a combined tour. This year we have separated them. So through July to September, we just have a royal walking tour with the staterooms. But all season now, through now till October, we have the Buckingham Palace Royal Walking Tour, Royal Mews entrance and guard change.
Oh, good.
So that one's been sort of extended, added in a bit of guard change and the stables, because there's a really nice connection when you see all the horses and the regalia coming out for guard change, to then go and see it up close and personal at the Royal Mews, which is fantastic. So that's one change there. And then we redeveloped the Churchill tour as well. So that includes a slightly shorter walk around more of the prominent areas of World War II and Churchill, and then includes the entry to the war rooms with an audio guide as well.
Brilliant. Well, I will link to Walks Tours in the show notes, so you can go and check out, because you've got a quite comprehensive list of tours now going on in London. You really do. Obviously, you've got the VIP ceremony of the keys, which is I absolutely love. I love the Westminster Abbey tour with the Queen's Gallery. Or is it the King's Gallery now? Because I was called the Queen's Gallery the other day, and I was thinking, has it changed to the King's Gallery?
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I'd done Westminster Abbey. So there's loads and loads of choice of tours to do. So definitely check them out via my link. But now I'm going to jump on to I want to do a drum roll. I don't know. I need to maybe get some sounds going here. Drum roll. Okay, come on then, Charlie. Tell us about the new destination that you are now doing Walks Tours in the UK.
I'm so excited about this. So we are commencing tours in Edinburgh in Scotland this year,
which is amazing.
Which I am thrilled about.
It's amazing. And obviously, you know, I mean, Doug and I always go to Edinburgh every time we're back in the UK. We go back. We've just actually spent 6 weeks house sitting in Edinburgh, and we just love Edinburgh. And we know it's such a popular destination. I think did you live there at one point?
So I guided there. I used to guide there for about 4 years. So yeah, it was like my second home. I nearly lived there. I went flat hunting and everything. And then being closer to my family down the southeast of England took precedence. So I chose there rather than Edinburgh. But yes, absolutely love it there.
Oh, and it's such a popular city. And I know if you're listening to our podcast right now, you're probably going, yeah, Edinburgh, London, Edinburgh, those are the places I want to go visit. Don't forget York. I'm just going to throw that in there. If you're going to travel from London, Edinburgh, go to York. But tell us about the Walks Tours that you've just launched in Edinburgh.
Well, we're very, very lucky and very excited to announce that we have managed to secure a very private Edinburgh Castle tour. So we have a tour called Secrets of Edinburgh Castle with exclusive early access. And this means that we are the only tour inside the castle before it opens. No other tour company have done it or can do it. It is just walks. So you're really stepping into the history of Scotland's one most iconic landmark, you know, set on the top of this volcanic hill at the top of the Royal Mile. It's a fully guided experience, and you can really enjoy the rare solitude of uncovering the castle's storied past, marvel at the treasures, and access areas that normally off limits to any guided groups. So we are the only groups allowed inside these areas, which are the royal apartments, the crown room, the St Margaret's Chapel, and the Great Hall, to name just a few. But I think that's what's really going to set this tour apart, is the fact that no other company, no other group can do this unless you book with us at Walks. After the tour, you get free time inside the castle, so you can stay in the castle as long as you want on this tour. It's an hour and a half. It runs Monday, Thursday, Saturdays. It's an early start, so 8:15 in the morning. But my goodness, it will be worth it. To have that whole castle to yourself is something that I would dream of. And I cannot wait to go out on that first tour, because honestly, I don't think you truly understand how busy that castle can get.
Honestly.
So just to have it as solitude is
it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing that you guys have got that, because honestly, it just gets so busy. In fact, we often in our Facebook group, we'll get people saying we couldn't get tickets because it gets sold out to get tickets to get into Edinburgh Castle. So the fact that you can go in before it opens, before it gets, there's going to be a lot of people in there before you, it's just amazing. It's just fantastic. So I'm putting my name down for that one for later on in the year as well.
You're on the list.
It's fine. On the list. Because I also want to have this experience. I mean, it's amazing. If you're listening and you're heading to Edinburgh, guys, seriously, this is, if you want to experience Edinburgh Castle in a small group with a fantastic guide, and as Charlie said, go and see parts of the castle that you can't do on another group tour, then this is what you need to book. Honestly, it sounds brilliant. So it's 3-4 days a week you're offering that?
Yes. Yeah. This is just the standalone private castle tour. So that's 3 days a week. But we also have the private entrance. So again, before the castle is open, but it also includes Edinburgh in a day tour, which includes a guided walk down the Royal Mile with entrance to Holyrood Palace. So this tour is exactly the same. So it starts exactly the same time. You get your private tour before the castle opens. So entering the rooms that normally you wouldn't be allowed inside. You'll get 30 minutes of free time at the end of this guided experience in the castle, just to go and take any pictures that you'd like to, or have a quick wander where you didn't get to. You'll then meet your local guide. So licensed castle guides that will take you around the castle for the private tour. You'll then meet a local guide who will take you down the Royal Mile, which is this historic spine of Edinburgh, which goes from the castle at the top all the way down to Holyrood Palace at the bottom. We'll admire landmarks such as St Giles Cathedral and Canongate Kirk. We'll explore hidden closes that really will captivate and inspire you as you're walking down the mile. As well as the guide sort of sharing his stories, the stories of the cities, past, the legends and the tales that will just be uncovered as you walk down. You'll then have access to Holyrood Palace with an audio guide, so you can spend as much or as little time in the palace as you want. But this is another fantastic tour. If you want a little bit more than just the tour of the castle and you're only here for a day or so, join the early access and Edinburgh in a day, and you really will see the heart of Edinburgh in one tour. Some days, unfortunately, the Holyrood Palace is closed. And this will be due to royal engagements, because it is still the home of King Charles. So the royal family do come up and spend quality time here in Holyrood Palace. So there are moments throughout the season when it will be closed. When that happens, as a company, as you know, we will still run the tour and we will offer an alternative experience. And for this, we will be offering a Scotch Whisky Experience. And we will be taking you to the award-winning 5-star attraction, the Scotch Whisky Experience at the top of the Royal Mile. So it will take you on an immersive journey through art and science of Scotch whisky. You'll have a tasting. You'll be able to take your glass home with you. And it really is a destination for enthusiasts and novices alike. And the good thing with the tour that we're doing there is it can accommodate families and children as well. So don't worry if you think, I can't do that tour because it's whiskey. You can, because the children will enjoy a nice tipple of iron brew, which is Scotland's most famous soft drink, which is actually one of my favourite drinks in the world. So it's a fabulous experience. It's about 50 minutes. And you get to take home a beautiful whiskey glass at the end of it as well. So, not only do we offer Holyrood Palace on certain dates, but we do remain committed at delivering an exceptional and memorable experience, even if those options aren't available to us. So that's the very private early access to Edinburgh Castle and Edinburgh in a Day tour. This is a 4-hour tour, starting at 8:15 in the morning as well. The dates for this one are quite sporadic throughout the season due to the entrance that we have at the castle. And the very final tour that we have in Edinburgh is our plain and simple Edinburgh in a Day. So this still includes access to the castle. However, it is normal access. So the tour will start at 9:15. So you'll enter when the castle opens. You'll still have a fully guided experience inside, but obviously you won't be able to go into those tiny little rooms or hidden rooms that the private access would be able to go into. So this will be sort of more of an exterior tour of the castle grounds. We will, however, get you to the Crown Jewels first, so you can be one of the first inside the Crown Jewels, where you'll have 15 minutes of free time. Once that's finished, that tour, you'll have half an hour again of free time before your tour guide will then continue the tour down the Royal Mile as per the other tour. And again, with the same inclusions of either Holyrood Palace or the Scotch Whisky Experience. And Holyrood, as we all know, it's been a fabulous, dramatic palace for the backdrop of Arthur's Seat, which is a very, very famous volcanic rock in Edinburgh, the official residence of the British monarch, and it today still remains a living royal palace. It's got over 900 years of royal and political history and witnessed some of the most pivotal of Scotland's moments. Home to Mary, Queen of Scots, or Bloody Mary, as she was known. And her life was really marred at the palace by intrigue, betrayal, and tragedy, which you'll learn a lot more about with your audio guide. It's hosted royal ceremonies, state occasions, and historic meetings, which encapsulates British history. So you'll be able to visit the decorated state apartments, which really do blend elegance and grandeur, as well as the hauntingly atmospheric ruins of Holyrood Abbey, which date back to the 12th century, as well as the gardens, which really are maintained beautifully with seasonal blooms. So this is a fabulous tour that, if you only have a few days in Edinburgh and you want to see the highlights, you have 3 tours to pick from, whether you do just the castle in the full day with private access, or just the normal access castle tour with the Edinburgh in a Day as well. So we're absolutely thrilled to start these tours off in Edinburgh this year. And I'm thrilled to say that I'm now the product and operations manager for Edinburgh. So I get to go back to my second home as much as possible. So come and join us and really experience Edinburgh as the beauty and storytelling city that it is.
Absolutely, 100%. Beautiful city to go to, beautiful city to visit and experience. But when you do, you need to learn the history, understand the history of Edinburgh, because it is fascinating. And what better way to do it than on a walks tour? It's brilliant to talk to you, Charley. And maybe I might get to see you in Edinburgh later on in the year. I definitely will see you in London for sure. But maybe, you never know, we might be in Edinburgh at the same time, wouldn't that? But that would be very, very exciting. And but as always, it's so amazing to chat with you. And I will put links to the walks and the Devour tours in the show notes. So that is for episode 147. So uktravelplanning.com/episode 147. But for this week, thanks again, Charley. It's been wonderful to chat with you.
Thank you so much. And if I can just say one tip for anyone coming to Edinburgh, wear comfortable shoes. Edinburgh is a city best explored on foot, no matter where you go, but be prepared for cobblestone streets and steep hills. There's plenty of walking to do. And the other thing, last thing, is pack for all weathers. It is in Scotland. It is always dreich, as they say, which means foggy and rainy. So it's very unpredictable. So bring layers, waterproof jacket, and umbrella, even in summer.
And I have to say, Charley, thank you so much for reminding me about the question I always end the podcast with, because everybody out there that's listening, I guess if you're sitting in your car listening to the episode, or you're walking the dog, or you're at the gym right now, you were waiting for me to ask that question to Charley, and I didn't. So thank you so much, Charley, for reminding me about that. And I say, join a walks tour, join a Devour tour. Honestly, you will not regret it. You will love it. There's so much fun. You will learn so much. The guides are amazing. It's just make the most of your holiday and take these tours, guys. They are amazing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tracy. It's been a pleasure to talk to you as well.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the UK Travel Planning Podcast. As always, show notes can be found at uktravelplanning.com. If you've enjoyed the show, why not leave us feedback via text or a review on your favourite podcast app? We love to hear from you, and you never know, you may receive a shout out in a future episode. But as always, that just leaves me to say, until next week, happy UK travel planning.